We're here today at the Chapin Family Farms. Going to talk to Doug Chapin about his involvement in the Michigan Milk Producers Association cover crop project. We're going to talk to him about his involvement, why he's involved, what he's learned, and how he might encourage others to participate. Doug, can you talk a little bit about your farm and the family history of the farm?
Well, my wife and I, we represent the 4th generation here, and my son that farms with us, Sam, is the 5th. Currently milk 700 cows, primarily Holsteins, a few crossbreds.
How about your cropping system? What type of crops do you grow? Just primarily for feed, cash crop?
We're pretty much all for feed. We do a lot of, obviously, corn and alfalfa. I do raise on my extra acres, I do raise wheat just because it allows me for summer manure spreading, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything is aimed at grain, corn, or corn silage or haylage.
Okay. What's your this has been in the family for, you're talking 5 generations,
right.
So you take it really seriously. So what's your farming philosophy as far as is protecting the land and building maybe for the future generations?
Well, obviously, I take a lot of pride in what my father gave me an opportunity to work with, and I really hope that I pass it along better to the next generation than I received it.
So Doug, could you talk a little bit about your manure handling, what type of manure system you have here, and maybe how these cover crops play into your manure management system?
Well, this year with our cover crops, we put them on a field that we didn't do fall manure on. We targeted them to spring manure fields so that it wouldn't add to additional tillage or like that. And so we put on spring manure and terminated the rye at that time. We applied 5,000 gallons to the acre. Always try to do no more than 1 year removal when we apply manure. So.
But you use the cover crops to apply the manure in the spring.
We applied over the
cover
crops.
Yep. And then terminated the
cover crop with when we incorporated the manure.
Okay. So now you're involved with the cover crop project through Michigan Milk. So why did you get involved in that?
The one piece of it that really interested me was when they said it was going to involve soil health. And on our lighter soils, I've really been following the nutrient uptake and like that. And, just something that I'm going to follow on this for my personal information is if keeping these fields green can help with our phosphorus levels and maybe keep that nutrient more available to the next crop and like that is I'm not sure that that's the goal of the cover crop thing, but that's one of my personal goals that I'm gonna watch on that.
Again, just being a good steward, a good steward of the land. So when you participated, what did you plant? Is this your first step in cover crops like this?
We've used cover crops off and on a lot over the years. And this year, what we did was we just put rye down with the plan to terminate it in the spring. We put rye following corn silage. We harvested corn silage, and we spread 70 acres or 70 pounds of rye to the acre and lightly tilled it in, and then terminated in the spring following manure application.
So did you get good growth in the fall? Were you satisfied with the results so far?
Last fall was a nice fall, and we had real nice growth and a nice stand out there this spring.
Okay, so then you terminated in the spring with the plans of planting corn?
Yes.
Okay, so with your involvement in the cover crop project through Michigan Milk, I mean, it's a real opportunity for the farmers to show their customers the sustainable practices that happen on your farm, and not just in the fields, but all throughout the whole farmstead, your cropping system. So what would you say to a Michigan Milk producer farmer that's considering being part of the project? How would you encourage them to participate, putting in covers and gaining value?
My belief is that all practices have to be economically viable, right? So I'm hoping this study will show kind of how these practices can be viable. And if you don't participate, it's harder to maybe see that. But I'm hoping that what this project shows, you know, encourages other members to try it and see how it fits their operation. You know, because with over 700 dairies, there's probably 700 ways to do it. So we'll learn from each other on that.